hello. Let's see if that helps at all. Maybe a little bit. Hi. So today is the first day of the flowers pattern. Are we excited? I hope so. Man, that's loud. Hi. All right, so we're gonna start with this one here. I'm going to use the same light pink that I used on the sample because I think it looked really nice. And we're gonna use all 6 strands. In the sample, I used one color for the petals, and then another color for the little highlight in each of the petals, and then another color for the middle. So you can choose kind of how you feel like it, whichever colors that you'd like. So I'm just gonna thread the needle, and for the knot, some people like to just start stitching and then do all the knots later, but I like to put a little knot in the end. Otherwise I'll pull it straight out. And you wanna just get it right at the end like that. And then before we start, I'm just gonna zoom in so that you can see really clearly. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to be doing satin stitches all the way around. And I like to start with one straight down the middle. And then I like to do them on each side. Oh, my screen just flashed. I hope that's not like a warning or something. Holy cow. So as some of you know, I was out stitching on the float boat at the lake, and I lost my most favorite needle. So I have a different one because the one that I was using was actually from an antique store. And I got this like box of, it's not all embroidery stuff, so I'm not gonna say embroidery stuff, but I got a box of, had like buttons, I had like a weird manicure kit that I threw away. And what else did it have in it? Some like knitting needles, but I don't knit, so it wasn't very beneficial. And it had a bunch of needles in it, like embroidery needles. So I went through and I found my favorite one, and I've been using it for like 4 or 5 years. And so now I've lost it, so I have to replace it. So I'm trying to figure out what is the needle of the one that I lost. So as you saw, I've used all 6 strands, 1 down the middle and then 2 on each side. And I kind of stagger them here and here to make it look round like the top. And then just work your way around each of the petals. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to look a certain way. Yours will look different than mine, and that's okay. Normally with satin stitch, you always go the same way. So you always go kind of top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. Sometimes I find that you can go next to the stitch. So I'll show you on the next petal. So for example, you can go from the bottom to the very top. And then instead of going from the bottom to the top again, you can just go right next to it. It's not very sunny today. Feel free to say hi, or if you want to tell your name or whatever. Or if you're stitching with me, then you're probably stitching. Meg always says hi. You've been doing such fun activities with your kids. Like going to so many fun places. I'm a little bit jealous. And of course, if anyone has any questions, then leave them and I'm happy to answer. This is not the right needle for me. I can already tell. I do not like it. Meg says, making up for what we've not done for the other 4 weeks. Do your kids start back to school this week? David started today for like a teachers like getting ready type thing, I guess. Man, I gotta find a different needle for tomorrow. This is nuts. But yeah, so he went back to school today, but the kids don't go until Wednesday. So he's got today and tomorrow. And he went back last Thursday as well to like, look at this. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. I miss my old needle. Meg says, Rosie's back Wednesday and Theo starts in nursery next Tuesday. Oh my goodness. Are you going to miss him? Blue dot peonia. Why is this moving? Oh. She's said, just watching the video at work, but I'll try as soon as I get home. I cannot wait to see. She says, it seems really easy, actually. I'm just a beginner. It's easier than you think, especially if you try a little bit. How many have I done? 3 stitches? I asked Meg if she's like gonna miss him, and she said no, because I can chill and actually get things done. Like, you are every parent at the end of school holiday. Especially the ones in the States, because like my mom finishes school like at the very end of May, and then they start in the middle of August. So it's like a full, like they get all of June, all of July, and then half of August off. So like every parent in America is like, get rid of them. This is too long. But like when we were little, we always just went to the lake for like the whole summer. So we loved like not being in school, because we just like got to swim every day and like hang out at the lake. So it's like way better than going to school. And since we grew up there, like my mom and dad didn't have to like watch us like so carefully, you know? I mean, obviously we were like on a lake, so they did watch us, but like we knew how to swim, and like we'd like play out in the front yard and go catch turtles and frogs. It was like super fun. Okay, so I'm almost finished with this. Notice how they don't all look exactly the same. That's okay. Don't freak out if all your petals like are not exactly like perfect or look like identical. They're not meant to. All the flowers are different. Okay, so I'm finished with this. I'm just gonna knot it on the back, and then I'm gonna take another color and do some little highlights. And for this one, I'm going to use 2 strands of whatever color I pick. So let me knot this. So this is what I have so far. And I think I'm gonna choose like a red. I'm gonna do this one. Just like a nice bright pink. So we're gonna use 2 strands of this. And there's lots of different ways that you can separate your threads. So some people will pull them out one by one, meaning they'll take 1 strand and pull. So you hold all the other ones and you just pull just the one. I tend to do it a different way. So I'll take the two strands out that I like and do, let me zoom back out. And I'll do a Y like this. So I'm holding 2 strands in this hand and 4 strands in this hand. It's the same hand, just different fingers. And with this one, I'm going to untwist and pull them apart. And then use my thumb to kind of pull down. And you can tell it's like untwisting on the bottom. I find if I do it this way, then the 2 strands kind of stick together a little bit more and they stay a little bit twisted. But you can do it whichever way that you feel like. Whatever way that you like, do it that way. And then this is how I thread the needle. Easy peasy. Mike has just said, have you decided on your free pattern for Facebook? So yes, last night I made a free Facebook pattern. I haven't done the holiday one. I've only done like an autumn one. But I haven't stitched it up yet, so we'll see. We'll see if I like it when it's stitched. Right, so we've done the satin stitch here with a light pink, and then we're going to do 3 little stitches down, 1 straight down the middle, about 3/4 of the way, and then 1 a little bit lower on each side. So we're just going to come up about 3/4 of the way. There's 1 with just some straight stitches. So again, this is 2 strands. Not 6. Oops, dropped it. So I did make 3, but this one got lost. So I'm going to do one more. And you can do this coming up through the petal, like I've just done. Or you can come through the middle like this and go down into the petal. Doesn't matter. In the end, they look the same. So just however you feel like. And this is just going to give it a little bit of detail. If you don't feel like doing these, don't do them. You don't have to. It's your pattern. But I'm showing you in case you want to. Made my string too long. And if you think they're getting a little bit messy or a little bit sloppy, like these two go straight over, that's okay too. Like I said, not all petals are the same. They don't all look the same. You can always put another little strand in there, like I did with the first one. Just 3 more. Blue Peonia said, I always make my string too long. How do you decide how long it must be? So I've read a couple places that they say don't make it longer than like your forearm. Like your forearm and your hand, like that long is like a good length. But I find that you have to, especially with hand embroidery instead of like cross stitch, I find that I have to rethread my needle and cut more thread more often that way, and it really annoys me. So I always tend to make them a little bit too long on purpose so that I don't have to keep getting more thread and getting more thread and getting more thread. But then I have the problem where like I will reach around and like put my hand on this part instead, or get a tangle or not. So I think it's more just a preference, and you'll find when you like the more that you do it, you'll find like how long is too long and how long is like just enough. Flozig says, do you cross stitch? Is your name Florence? I feel like it is. I try to remember everyone's names, so if you want to leave it, then you totally can. There we go. So that's pretty much done for there. I showed everyone yesterday how to do the knots, but I'll show you today. That's what I thought. Nice to see you again. So anyways, Florence says, do you cross stitch? I've tried cross stitching, and I did it when I was younger, like really younger, because my mom was into it, like when she was younger, when I was younger. But I don't have the patience for it with the counting and making sure that everything is lining up with like all the X's. And yeah, I I get about 10 minutes into it and I'm like, nope, I'm done. So no, I don't do cross stitch. Blue Peonia says, my name is it Anais? Anais? She's French. Or he's French. So there's 2 ways you can do a knot on the end. You can do like I just did. So you make just a loop like that. Or you can take the 2 threads, separate them, and tie them together in a double knot. So it's up to you how you would like to do it. Some people, they don't like knotting at all and instead will weave their needle under all of the stitches that they've just made, back and forth until they, I'm going to do quotes because I'm not sure if it's true or not, but until they can't come out again. Some people like to do that. That's fine. You do you, honey. Whatever you feel like, that's what you do. And then for the very, very last bit, we're going to do some French knots in here. So let me just grab, I have all my colors over to the side. So let me just grab a yellow, maybe a little bit brighter. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to grab a little bit of this one. All 6 strands. And we've done French knots before. And there's lots of videos on my YouTube about French knots. So I won't teach you so much today because we will be doing French knots tomorrow. So not tomorrow, Wednesday. So I will go a little bit more in depth at that time. But the easy peasy French knot is you go up through the back, all 6 strands, and we're going to just wrap the needle 1 time, like that. Yeah? Just like that. And then you're going to go right back down next to where you just came up. So not in the same hole, or it's going to come all the way through the back. Pull the knot down to the base of the fabric or the base of the needle. And let me just zoom out. And with this hand, this one, you're going to knot really tight, but hold this thread so that it doesn't get all scrunched up, and push your needle all the way down. And then let go of this thread and you have a little knot. So we'll show it again. Like I said, I do need to zoom out on this one because you need to see what I'm doing with this hand. So you're gonna go up through the back. Yeah. Grab the thread with your left hand. Put the needle on top, wrap it 1 time. Go right back down next to where you just came up. And this part is important because you need to pull it down. Not really tight, but just a little bit tight. Hold it and then pull it through. Yeah? So all we're going to do here is just fill in this little hole. So maybe 4 or 5 stitches, 4 or 5 knots. It depends on how much space you have on your pattern. And there we go. Alice in Mumderland is here. Hello, babes. So I can fit 4 in mine. I'm just going to leave 4 like that. If you want, you can add a couple more. If not, that's fine. So some people quite like one right in the middle, but 4 fills up that space nicely for me. So in the back, just tie your little knot. So here's what it looks like on the back. Just done a little knot. And then on the front, looks like that. Day 1 finished. Yeah? So we've done satin stitch for the light pink. We've done straight stitches for these little accents. And we've done a French knot for the middle. So that's day 1 finished. As always, share what you stitched on, if you want to put it on your grid, you can do that. If you want to share it in stories, that's okay too. It might be nice to have it in stories because then you can do every day as a different highlight in your stories. That could be fun. And make sure that you tag me so that I can repost them in my stories. If I don't get tagged, then I don't get the option to repost. So it's at the Barmy Fox. Give me a tag and I'll share as many as I can today, which is usually all of them. So yeah, I want to see how you did. But other than that, that's all for me. We've just done the one, and I'll see you on Wednesday to do that. Oh, Meg said that she started that with her highlights. Yes. You can even put in there like the prep if you want to take a picture of like the colors that you're using or all your materials laid out. Your hoop before you start so you can see what all the little drawings look like. It's so fun to go and click through them all and see all of them together. I'm so excited. All right, well, have a great Monday. And if you're doing the leaves pattern, that's what we did yesterday. I'll see you tomorrow and we can do that. If not, I'll see you on Wednesday with this little guy. Have a great day. Bye.